Hey YouTubers, I am going to show you how I make a guide for my skill saw, a straight edge guide. Instead of buying a track and a track saw, this is kind of a DIY of using a sheet of plywood and making your own track. So I've got a piece of 1/2 inch AC here, and the cost of plywood anymore is just freaking ridiculously expensive, and I had to buy a few sheets. I'm building some shelves out for this trailer. And so what I did is I'm going to use this, the wide part of this rip is going to be for the base of the skill saw, and I'm going to use the wide part of the base to give me a little bit more stability. And this 4-inch strip still has the factory edge on it, which I'm going to use as the straight edge, and that'll create my guide and give me a nice straight line to go to. Anyway, I'll pause here for a minute. I'll put a couple things together because I can't hold this and screw things together at the same time. So what I'm going to do is take this 4-inch piece, flip it over, glue it, and screw it to that 8-inch piece, and then I'll pick it up from there. Okay, so I got the 4-inch piece. I flipped it over and glued it and screwed it to the 8-inch piece, which leaves me about 4 inches over, 4 inches left over on this side. And then this side here is just got my my rough cut with my skill saw, and that doesn't really matter, that'll get trimmed up. So my factory edge is here, and I used a long level and put it up against there just to make sure I kept it nice and straight. So then what I'm going to do is I'll set the skill saw on here and use the blade to cut off the excess, which I left about a 1/2 inch left over, and that'll give me a perfect line of where my blade's going to be in relation to the straight line here, the straight edge. And I'll hit, my screws are sticking up a little bit. All I had is 1.25 inches, so I'll just hit those with the grinder. And then I put the heads of the screws on the bottom side of it and countersunk those so they don't have a chance to scratch any material if I'm putting it over the top of some finished product. Anyway, I'll get this cut and get the screws grinded down, and I'll show you where I'm at. All right, so I got the excess cut off there, that little strip, and you can see the blade now is exactly, or the edge of my track is exactly where the blade is going to be, because that's what I used to cut it off, right? So now this end here, or this side that's a little uneven, I'll run this guide through my table saw just to clean up this edge here, make that nice and square. So now when I need to pull a measurement, I can pull over to whatever I need and put this very edge of my track right on that mark, and that's exactly where my blade's going to be. I've done it out in the field like that quite a few times. If you get into a job where you've got a lot of sheet goods you're ripping, and if you don't have a track saw, or if you just need to make do, this actually works pretty well and is pretty quick. You know, if you've got an existing skill saw and you don't want to buy the track saw and the track and all that, you can make your own track at home just like that.